What's up, guys? It's another episode of Watch You Strappin. These are not watch reviews, so just quick wristwatch check of the day with a particular watch and strap combination, just to show it off, have some fun. Just do these whenever I got time. Maybe give some people ideas of what they can do with their own watches of the same model or something somewhat similar. Yeah, that's basically it. Very quick stuff usually, unless I got something off the top of my head that I just feel like talking about. Anyways, this is, of course, well, there are at least two copies now of this brand, but Serica from France is a French brand. It is Swiss made, but it is a French brand. It's a micro brand. This is the Serica 5303-1, and yeah, that would be the black. The -1 denotes the black dial version. -2 would be the white dial, and -3, the latest one that they added, was the blue dial with the light blue bezel. Yeah, but this I got yeah, back in originally in the first batches from late 2021. So early adopter. This is the first watch, of course. They do have a field watch prior, but for sure this is definitely this is our second one, and I think one of the most unique offerings, probably more so than their field watches, actually, because the field watch, you know, somewhat you know, it looks like almost any other field watch. They do some differences, you know, make some differences on those, but this is definitely one of their unusual and more original designs, and I personally love it. It's probably at this point the oldest watch in terms of how long I've owned, that I've had. I can't remember. I don't think I have anything else beyond the year 2021 that I've purchased. I do have things that are actually older in actual production that I added in much later, like within a couple of months ago at most, like my Grand Seiko, and there's a Longines. It was a limited edition, pretty cool, small watch, but it's very faithful to the World War II watches used by the pilots of the RAF as well as the United States back in the World War II. But I'm not talking about that. We're talking about Serica, and this is their dive watch model. And I did own their 8513, I believe is their, or 8315. I think it's 8315, sorry. Yeah, it should be 8315, which is their GMT model. Very cool. Had that as a destro, but this one's classic. I always really like this all black version. The white dial is really nice too, actually. Makes me think sometimes I should have gotten that, but I do enjoy this particular colorway. It's just very classic. I'm trying to adjust the temperature. It feels like it's a little cool. I think this strap is actually from Cheapest Needle Strap, I think, most likely. I have to check underneath, but I'm almost certain that it is. But this is one of their better ones. Sometimes their straps, particularly their leather straps, can be a bit hit or miss. Yeah, but as far as I'm aware, this should be their this is a better, you know, one of the better leather straps that they've made. It's not thinking super amazing, but it's definitely better than some of their, I don't really like their suede straps. They tend to be, I don't know, they seem like they fall apart, especially near the lugs, especially since they also use quick release spring bars. That area that has that extra cutout for the little, you know, bolt or lever, whatever, that pops out for you to pull down on for this quick release spring bars. That area is definitely, if it's not well made, it's easily compromised and can tear. And I do notice that on their suede ones tend to do stuff like that. So, but this, I don't know what you call this leather, sorry. I bought this some time ago. If you really want to know, I'll see if I can find it, and I'll give you a link, or at least the name of this, if I can find it in my old emails. But yeah, this is just a nice brown leather strap. It's not your typical like dark brown. It's just kind of a almost, this might even be considered tan, but I like it. It's a lighter, warmer tone than usually I wear for in terms of leather straps, but I think it works nicely. We're going into fall, or maybe we're in fall already. It's Halloween is just tomorrow, and I think this will definitely work. Putting a watch on a leather strap when temperatures getting cooler, seasons are changing. You know, definitely the foliage is turning more red to yellow, and you know, getting more brown and getting more earthy, warm tones. So this feels like in the spirit of the season. Yeah, and I think it works pretty well. I don't usually put this watch much on leather straps. One, I don't generally wear leather straps these days, especially my main it wouldn't be 9 to 5, but my main daily you know, and weekly watch wear from usually Monday to Saturday is going to be something that I can wash and clean, and leather isn't part of that you know, kit, I guess. So yeah, I tend to try to enjoy these on the weekends when I get a chance to switch it off, and just you know, leather's pretty cozy and comfy, and again, I don't have to worry about it getting dirty or contaminated at work. So you know, I'm fine with just having a couple of nice decent leather straps to wear over the weekend from time to time, just to change up the look. I think this works pretty good. Yeah, this is generally on its mesh bracelet, which I like. It's pretty unique the way they designed the mesh bracelet for this. And I wish they would do a link one at some point, or at least I'm trying to figure out if anyone's tried to adapt any other you know, link bracelet to this watch. That's out of curiosity. And I do need it to be fitted end links. I don't like straight end links. It's just, I like to fill in this gap if I'm using a bracelet. So probably well, other than the factory mesh, that, you know, that won't work. And any other link bracelet on a straight end, no, that's not going to work for me. I need something that's fitted, and it's kind of tricky to find something that fits this specifically. Might need something with hollow end links, which I'm okay with. You know, I've never had any issues with hollow end links. I'm not that rough on my watches anyways, but if I wanted to change up the look, and the hollow end links, you know, they're just usually some sort of shaped and folded piece of metal. You can reshape them to some degree, and that might be possible to adapt certain bracelets that have that to a watch that maybe it wasn't originally intended for. So anyways, yeah, this is a great watch. Does have that quirky crown that a lot of people complained about, and it, yeah, kind of issue early on, but I've owned it since you know, whenever I first got it in, I think it was around November, maybe December at the latest of 2021. And so I've gone on for, it's going at the end of 23. So yeah, basically 2 years since then. And it's not been enough of an issue for me because I really love this design. And yeah, and I found a way for me to personally work with it. It's just a matter of just understanding how the quirkiness of it works. It may vary slightly in terms of its quirkiness from watch to watch. It may not be exactly the same way. I don't know. I don't hear enough people talking about how they cope with it. But basically, you just pull it out, the crown. You don't have to worry about setting a date. There's a no date movement. And there's no definitive click when you get to the, you know, time setting position. It seems kind of loose because if you just push on the crown, it'll just go kind of back into unhacking the movement. So the main thing is you pull it to hack, obviously, and then you just try to keep constant pressure, like a pulling pressure on the crown. It doesn't be too hard, but you just basically want to keep it from setting, even slightly getting nudged back in towards the case, which will cause it to unhack and get the seconds moving. So as long as you keep a little bit of pressure or pulling pressure rather on the crown, as to keep it on the hacking position and time setting position. Particularly the hacking position, you can still set the time and then make it unhack. Yeah, as long as you do that, you should be able to set the time just fine, and then just push the crown back in. There is some trick to that as well, admittedly. Sometimes, depending on the position of the crown, how it's turned one way or the other, sometimes it may just slightly offset or jump a little bit, so it may get off of perfect alignment in terms of the seconds hands, or maybe even the minutes hands might get what might get a little bit displaced a little bit if you don't push it down just right. Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I just set this last night and I got it on the first try, and it's doing great. And this movement is pretty accurate. They have a new movement now. This is using the Soprod Newton movement. It's their top flight version, which is the best, which I believe is only a deviation of plus or minus 4 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty tight tolerance for that. It's basically well within chronometer, and I have to say this movement does excel at that. It's, as far as I've known, pretty much daily average use, it basically hasn't really gone more than a second off per day. So it's a solid movement in that sense. It's got a nice balance bridge, and the construction overall is pretty good. It's just some weird thing with the way the crown works. I'm not sure if it's adherent to all the Newton mods, or maybe for some reason Serica might have picked up the wrongly designed crown stem, and maybe that's why it's kind of fidgety like that. I don't know, but they have since more recently, within this year of 2023, I think it's, yeah, nothing 2022 as far as I can remember, but right somewhere in the middle of 2023 they reintroduced this model. I don't know if it's reintroduced, but they just had another run, and then they switched up the movement, and now it's still running a Soprod, but it's a more less finicky. It should not have that crown movement. I think it's a P, I don't know what it is, a P something, but I think it's another Soprod movement that's been used in other watches for some time. So it's not the Newton is supposedly a somewhat new movement within the Soprod family of movements, as far as I understand it. That's why not too many people have used it in the past. But Serica is the only one I know of it that has at all. But anyways, the new ones are chronometer grade, and they've added an anti-magnetic cage around it, a soft iron core, I believe is what they would call it, around the watch. So it should be pretty darn accurate and anti-magnetic now, the newest version. And it will say chronometer on the dial instead of well, they can't see it now, but it says, I think it says S517. Which is a French submarine designation. Why are they using that? I forget. My only thinking is that it's kind of like calling it a submariner in a way, but it's a submarine, but they use one of the submarine registration number, I guess. Is that what you would call it? Instead of a natural, English name to make that kind of association. Anyways, babbling on, I know that's what I do, and again, I guess this doesn't end up being as short as I thought it would be. Usually these are 10 minutes or 5 minutes or less, but some things I get off the top of my head and I'll just talk about it. And I don't know, it's just hopefully that gives some people some more insight into the brand and the design and stuff, if I can help provide that. So there we go, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I think that's all I got to say. Yeah, enjoy your watches.